Good morning, friends. It is 8:10 on this Thursday morning. We're just going to do a shorter live at this moment. We're going to take some time and focus on our reading of Torah this Lent. We're a little bit behind in our plan, but that's okay. We do not get discouraged when we don't keep up to plan. We just keep moving forward. After all, it was only a goal. And sometimes the purpose of our goals are to get us somewhere, but maybe not on our timeline. So we're going to spend a little bit of time and read through Torah. And then there will be a break, a longer break than normal. And at 8:30, 19 minutes from now, we'll pray morning prayer together in another live this morning. Thank you for joining us. So, friends, we are in Exodus. We're in the 14th chapter of Exodus. God's people have been sent out of Egypt. The Exodus has begun, and Pharaoh suddenly has had regrets. What have I done? And so the interaction between Pharaoh and the people of Israel is not yet complete. We're building up to that. So let's read, friends. Resuming our reading at chapter 14, verse 10, a continuation of the reading of the book of Exodus. Pharaoh drew near, and the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were advancing after them. They were very frightened, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Is it because there are no graves in Egypt that you have taken us to die in the desert? What is this that you have done to us to take us out of Egypt? Isn't this the thing about which we spoke to you in Egypt, saying, 'Leave us alone, and we will serve the Egyptians, because we would rather serve the Egyptians than die in the desert?'" Moses said to the people, "Don't be afraid. Stand firm and see the Lord's salvation that he will wreak for you today. For the way you have seen the Egyptians is only today, but you shall no longer continue to see them for eternity. The Lord will fight for you, but you shall remain silent." The Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry out to me? Speak to the children of Israel and let them travel. And you raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and split it. And the children of Israel shall come in the midst of the sea on dry land. And behold, I shall harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they will come after you, and I will be glorified through Pharaoh and through all his force, through his chariots and through his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I will be glorified through Pharaoh, through his chariots, and through his horsemen. The angel of God, who has been going in front of the Israelite camp, moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud moved away from in front of them and stood behind them. And he came between the camp of Egypt and the camp of Israel, and there were the cloud and the darkness, and it illuminated the night, and one did not draw near the other all night long. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord led the sea with the strong east wind all night. And he made the sea into dry land, and the waters split. Then the children of Israel came into the midst of the sea on dry land, and the waters were to them as a wall from their right and from their left. The Egyptians pursued and came after them, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen, into the midst of the sea. It came about in the morning watch that the Lord looked down over the Egyptian camp through a pillar of fire and cloud, and he threw the Egyptian camp into confusion. And he removed the wheels of their chariots, and he led them with heaviness. And the Egyptians said, "Let me run away from the Israelites, because the Lord is fighting for them against the Egyptians." Therefore the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, and let the water return upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen." So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and toward morning the sea returned to its strength, as the Egyptians were fleeing toward it. And the Lord stirred the Egyptians into the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, the entire force of Pharaoh coming after them into the sea. Not even one of them survived. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea, and the water was to them like a wall from their right and from their left. On that day the Lord saved Israel from the hands of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dying on the seashore. And Israel saw the great hand which the Lord had used upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord, and they believed in the Lord and in Moses his servant. Then Moses and the children of Israel sang this song to the Lord. And they spoke, saying, "I will sing to the Lord, for very exalted is he. A horse and its rider has he cast into the sea. The Eternal's strength and his vengeance were my salvation. This is my God, and I will make him a habitation. The God of my father, and I will ascribe to him exaltation. The Lord is a master of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he cast into the sea, and the elite of his officers sank in the Red Sea. The depths covered them, they descended into the depths like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, is most powerful. Your right hand, O Lord, crushes the foe. And with your great pride you tear down those who rise up against you. You send forth your burning wrath, it devours them like straw. And with the breath of your nostrils the waters were heaped up. The running water stood erect like a wall. The depths congealed in the heart of the sea. Because the enemy said, "I will pursue, I will overtake, I will share the booty. My desire will be filled from them. I will draw my sword, my hand will impoverish them." You blew with your wind, the sea covered them, they sank like lead in the powerful waters. Who is like you among the powerful, O Lord? Who is like you, powerful in the holy place? Too awesome for praises, performing wonders. You inclined your right hand, the earth swallowed them up. With your loving kindness you led the people you redeemed. You led them with your might to your holy abode. Peoples heard, they trembled as shudders seized the inhabitants of Philistia. Then the chieftains of Edom were startled, as for the powerful men of Moab, trembling seized them. All the inhabitants of Canaan melted. May dread and fright fall upon them. With the arm of your greatness, may they become as still as a stone, until your people cross over, O Lord, until this nation that you have acquired crosses over. You shall bring them and plant them on the mount of your heritage, directed toward your habitation, which you made, O Lord, the sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands founded. The Lord will reign to all eternity. When Pharaoh's horses came with his chariots and his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought the waters of the sea back upon them, and the children of Israel walked on dry land in the midst of the sea, Miriam, the prophetess, Aaron's sister, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women came out after her with timbrels and dances. And Miriam called out to them, "Sing to the Lord, for very exalted is he. The horse and its rider he cast into the sea." Moses led Israel away from the Red Sea, and they went out into the desert of Shur. They walked for 3 days in the desert, but did not find water. They came to Marah, but they could not drink water from Marah, because it was bitter. Therefore, it was named Marah. The people complained against Moses, saying, "What shall we drink?" So he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord instructed him concerning a piece of wood, which he cast into the water, and the water became sweet. There he gave them a statute and an ordinance, and there he tested them. And he said, "If you hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, and you do what is proper in his eyes, and you listen closely to his commandments and observe all his statutes, all the sicknesses that I have visited upon Egypt I will not visit upon you, for I, the Lord, heal you." They came to Elim, and there were 12 water fountains and 70 palms, and they encamped there by the water. They journeyed from Elim, and the entire community of the children of Israel came to the desert of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their departure from the land of Egypt. And the entire community of the children of Israel complained against Moses and against Aaron in the desert. The children of Israel said to them, "If only we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by pots of meat, when we ate bread to our fill, for you have brought us out into this desert to starve this entire congregation to death." So the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I am going to rain down for you bread from heaven, and the people shall go out and gather what is needed for the day, so that I can test them, whether or not they will follow my teaching. And it shall be on the 6th day that when they prepare what they will bring, it will be double of what they gather every day." Friends, we will pause there. Next time we will pick up at chapter 16, verse 6, when next we read from Exodus. "5 minutes from now, 8:30, we'll pray morning prayer together.